If he's been going days without texting you, and you're the one still sitting there staring at that phone like it owes you an answer, listen to me very carefully, because what I'm about to tell you tonight is going to change everything you thought you knew about how a man's heart works. I know what this feels like. I know you've read that last message 40 times. I know you've been rehearsing what you would say if he called right now, standing in your kitchen, holding a cup of tea that went cold 2 hours ago. I know the silence between you and that man has started to feel louder than any argument y'all ever had. And I know a piece of you is scared that if you don't do something, say something, send something, he's going to forget you exist. But before I tell you exactly what to do to make that man miss you like his next breath depends on it, you need to understand what is really happening in his mind right now. Because once you see it, sister, you will never look at this situation the same way again. Now let me talk to you like I talk to my own daughter. Let me sit down across from you for a minute. You've been checking that phone. Don't lie to me. You've been checking it in the morning, before your feet even hit the floor. You've been checking it at red lights. You've been checking it in the bathroom at work, hiding it under the counter like it's contraband. You picked it up at 11:47 last night and there was nothing there, and you told yourself, I'll just wait one more day. And then you woke up and you checked it again. I see you. You sent that message 3 days ago. Maybe it was something soft, something like, hey, thinking of you. Maybe it was something braver, we need to talk. Maybe it was something you regret now. Something with too many words in it. Something that sounded like begging when you read it back. And that little gray check mark turned blue. He read it. He read it, sister. And then he did nothing. And every hour since then, a piece of you has been building a case against yourself. You've been asking, what did I do? What did I say? Was I too much? Was I not enough? Did I text too fast? Did I laugh too loud that night? Was my dress too tight? Was my heart too open? You are sitting in your own home, in the body God gave you, in the life you built with your own two hands, and you are on trial for the crime of loving somebody who chose to go quiet on you. Stop it. Let me tell you something. That silence you're sitting in right now, that silence is not empty. That silence is full. It is full of every question you're afraid to ask. Every fear you're afraid to name, every prayer you've whispered into your pillow at 2 a.m. That silence has a weight to it, doesn't it? It sits on your chest. It sits on your ribs. It makes it hard to breathe when you wake up. And here is what nobody is telling you, my dear. That silence is not just happening to you. That silence is doing something to you. It is teaching you a lesson about yourself that you have avoided your whole life. And when I show you what that lesson is, you are going to understand why God allowed this man to go quiet on you in the first place. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I want you to close your eyes for a second, right where you are. Whether you're in the car, whether you're washing dishes, whether you're lying in bed with the lights off and your headphones in, I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to remember the last time this man made you feel small. Not on purpose, not with a fist, not with a raised voice, but with his absence, with his distance, with the way you had to ask him twice for something you should never have had to ask for at all. You remember it, don't you? You remember the way you laughed too hard at his joke, hoping he'd stay a little longer. You remember the way you did your hair for a Tuesday phone call. You remember the way you canceled on your girlfriends because he might come over, and then he didn't come over. You remember the way you looked in the mirror after he left and thought, I don't recognize her anymore. You remember the day you started to shrink. I want you to sit with that, because we are not going to skip over this part. Every video you've been watching, every article you've been reading, every friend you've been calling, they've been rushing you. They've been telling you, girl, get over him, move on, delete his number. And I understand why they said it. They love you. They want you to stop hurting. But nobody sat down with you and said, sister, before you move on, you deserve to be seen. So I'm sitting with you tonight. You are not crazy. You are not too sensitive. You are not overreacting. You felt what you felt because it was real. That connection was real. That love was real. That hope was real. And the pain of watching a man treat something real like it was optional. That pain is real too. Say it with me. That pain is real too. You did not imagine it. You did not make it up in your head. He was there, and then he wasn't. He was warm, and then he was cold. He was your future, and then he was your unread messages. That is whiplash you felt, that confusion, that's not weakness beautiful. That's your spirit telling you something has been stolen from you and you have a right to grieve it. But here's what happens next. And what I'm about to tell you in the next part of this video is the part that changes women's lives. So don't you move. Let me tell you something about the way a man's mind works. And I don't say this to excuse him. I don't say this to make you feel sorry for him. I say this because you cannot fight a battle you do not understand. And most women, God bless them, have been fighting for years without ever knowing what they were fighting for. A man does not value what is given to him. He values what he had to become somebody to earn. Write that down. I've seen this 1,000 times. A woman meets a man, and from the very first date, she is pouring. She is pouring her time, her attention, her body, her cooking, her forgiveness, her second chances, her third chances, her patience, her prayers. She is pouring like a fountain that never runs dry, and she thinks she is showing him love. She thinks she is proving to him she's a good woman. She thinks she is doing what her mama did, what her grandma did, what the women in her family have always done. But listen to me carefully. What that man is receiving is not love. What that man is receiving is access. And there is a difference between love and access. And most women never learn it. Love is what you give a man who has proven he can hold it. Access is what you give a man because you are afraid he'll leave if you don't. Now watch this. Because here is what is happening inside his head while you are over there wondering why he went quiet. Men are hunters. I don't care what year it is. I don't care what these little articles online tell you. I don't care how many books have been written trying to reprogram what God stitched into a man from the beginning. A man is wired to pursue. A man is wired to chase. A man is wired to invest. And the thing about investment, sister, is that a man does not respect what he did not have to work for. When you texted him first, he felt good. When you texted him first again, he felt flattered. When you texted him first 3 days in a row, he stopped wondering. He stopped wondering if you liked him. He stopped wondering if you'd be there tomorrow. He stopped wondering if he had to bring his best to the table because you were bringing enough for both of you. And the moment a man stops wondering about you, he stops thinking about you. Say it again. The moment a man stops wondering about you, he stops thinking about you. That is not cruelty, my dear. That is biology. That is the way God made him. A man's mind is built for pursuit, and pursuit requires mystery. Pursuit requires uncertainty. Pursuit requires the possibility that he might lose you. You take away the possibility that he might lose you, and you have taken away the only fuel his heart was running on. Now, I want to tell you a little story. Let me tell you about a woman I'll call Denise. Denise came to me a couple of years ago. She was crying so hard she could barely speak. She had been with this man for 2 years. 2 years, sister. And in the last 3 months, he had slowly started disappearing. Not all at once. Never all at once. That's not how it works. He just started answering slower. He started saying he was tired. He started making plans on the weekends without her. And Denise was doing what most of y'all do. She was doubling down. She was texting more. She was calling more. She was showing up more. She was showing up more. She was cooking more. She was posting pictures of them together more. And the more she poured, the further he ran. You know why? Because a man does not run from a woman who has become a wall. A man runs from a woman who has become a flood. When you flood a man with your presence, with your worry, with your questions, with your check-ins, with your "are we okay" text messages at midnight, you become water. And water, my dear, is easy to walk away from. It gets on his shoes and he shakes it off. But a wall is different. A woman who has become her own foundation, a woman who has her own peace, her own schedule, her own God, her own joy, her own life. That woman is not water. That woman is a mountain. And a man does not shake a mountain off his shoes. A man stands in front of a mountain and he wonders, how do I climb this? You need to become the mountain. But I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but I love him. I don't want to play games. I don't want to be cold. That's not who I am. And I hear you. I hear you, beautiful. I am not asking you to play a game. Games are for children. What I am telling you is a law. There is a difference between a game and a law, and most women never learn it. A game is something you do to trick somebody. A law is something you do because it is true. And the law of a man's heart is this: he will only miss what he cannot access on demand. That's the whole video right there. If you close this out right now and never come back, take that one sentence with you and let it save your life. He will only miss what he cannot access on demand. Now, here is the second thing you need to understand about what is happening in his mind. And this is the part they don't want you to know. When a man goes silent on you, he is not thinking about you the way you are thinking about him. He is not sitting in his room, staring at the wall, agonizing over every word you said. He is not rehearsing conversations. He is not scrolling through old pictures at 2 a.m. That's what you're doing, sister. And you have been projecting your soft, feminine, thoughtful heart onto a man who is built completely differently. A man in silence is not in mourning. A man in silence is testing. He is testing to see how long you will wait. He is testing to see if you will chase. He is testing to see if the story he has been telling himself about you, that you'll always be there, that you'll always come back, that you'll always forgive. He is testing to see if that story is still true. And every time you break the silence first, you confirm his story. Every text you send unanswered is a data point in his file on you. Every "hey, just checking in" is a signature on a contract that says, I will be here no matter how you treat me. And I know that hurts. I know it. But I would rather you sit in this truth for 10 uncomfortable minutes tonight than sit in this pattern for another 10 wasted years. Now, here's what nobody's telling you. And this is where it changes. The reason he keeps coming back after weeks of silence is not because he loves you, not the way you think. He comes back because your availability has become his emotional insurance policy. He knows he can walk away, live his life, do whatever he wants, and when he gets lonely, tired, bored, or scared, he can send you one text, one "hey stranger," one "been thinking about you," and you will come running. You are his safety net. And a man does not marry his safety net, beautiful. A man marries the woman he is afraid to lose. Understand? But I'm going to tell you in a minute the one text a man sends when he is about to break. The exact words, the exact time of night, the exact energy behind it. But first, I need you to understand why you have been the one holding this whole thing together. Because it is not because you are weak. It is not because you are stupid. It is not because you don't know better. It is because somewhere along the way, sister, somebody taught you that love was something you had to earn. Somebody taught you that if you just tried harder, gave more, sacrificed more, prayed harder, cooked better, dressed prettier, stayed quieter, you would finally be enough to be chosen and kept. And that lie has been running your life. If any of this is landing on you right now, do me one favor, just one. Tap that subscribe button, because I make these videos for the sister who's ready to remember who she is. And I don't want you to miss the next one, because we are just getting started. Now let me tell you what has really been happening in your patterns, because until you see this part, you are going to keep repeating this cycle with every man God sends across your path. You have been operating from what I call a scarcity spirit. You have been treating this man like he is the last good man on earth. You have been treating his attention like it is a resource that might run out. You have been treating his affection like it is a limited time offer, and anytime you treat a man like he is scarce, you make yourself abundant. And abundance in a woman without discipline becomes a currency he spends until it's gone. I need you to hear me on this one. Your energy is not free. Your presence is not free. Your patience is not free. Your prayers over his life are not free. Your body is not free. Your Saturday nights are not free. You have been giving away sacred things for the price of a good morning text, and you have been calling it love. But it wasn't love, my dear. It was hunger. And I say this without judgment. Every woman goes through it. Every woman has a season where she confuses hunger for love, but the season is over, because tonight we are teaching your heart the difference. And what I am about to tell you next is the part that changes women's lives. So don't you move. Now listen to me carefully. I want you to hear this next part with your chest, not with your ears. You were never the problem. Say it out loud where you are. You were never the problem. Your love was not too much. Your heart was not too big. Your softness was not a mistake. Your desire to be chosen was not a character flaw. You are not broken. You are not damaged. You are not too available. You are not too sensitive. You are not too emotional. Your availability was the problem, not you. Your availability. And there is a difference between who you are and how you have been showing up. And most women never learn it. You are a queen who has been offering the crown before the man ever asked for the throne. Let me say that again. You are a queen who has been offering the crown before the man ever asked for the throne. Your softness, that beautiful, God-given, feminine softness, was mistaken for weakness because you had no boundaries protecting it. Softness without boundaries is a target, but softness behind a boundary, that is a fortress. And a man will spend his whole life trying to earn his way into a fortress. You've been living with the drawbridge down. We're pulling that drawbridge up tonight. Now here's the shift I need you to make right now, not tomorrow, not next week, not after he sends one more text. Right now, you have to stop believing that his silence is a verdict on your worth, because it is not. His silence is a verdict on his capacity. A man will only give you what he is capable of giving you. And a man who is capable of loving you the way God intended will not go silent on you for days. He will not read your messages and leave you sitting in the void. He will not treat your heart like a hotel room he can check into and check out of at his convenience. That's not love. That is convenience. There is a difference between a man who loves you and a man who is used to you, and most women never learn it. A man who loves you is invested. A man who is used to you is comfortable. And comfortable men do not miss you, sister. They just come back when they get bored. So the reframe is this: you are not trying to make him miss you. You are becoming a woman he cannot afford to lose. Those are two different projects, and they require two different women. The woman who is trying to make him miss you, she is still centered on him. Every action she takes, every silence she keeps, every post she posts, every outfit she wears, she is doing it for his eyes. He is still the audience. He is still the God. She has just changed her tactics. But the woman he cannot afford to lose. Sister, she doesn't have an audience. She has a life. And that life is so full, so lit up, so anointed, so aligned, so peaceful, so purposeful, so beautiful, that when a man walks into her presence, he knows he is stepping into something sacred. And when he walks out, he knows he has walked away from something he might never get back. You need to become sacred again. Not to him, to you. You need to become the kind of woman who wakes up in the morning and prays before she picks up her phone. You need to become the kind of woman whose day is not determined by whether a man responded to her. You need to become the kind of woman whose peace has a moat around it and whose worth is not up for negotiation with anybody who did not build it. Say it with me. My worth is not up for negotiation with anybody who did not build it. Now let me tell you what a high-value woman actually is. Because this phrase gets thrown around online, and most of it is nonsense. Most of it is about designer bags and red-bottom shoes and how to trick a rich man into a marriage. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about high net worth. I'm talking about high value. And there's a difference. A high-value woman is a woman whose energy is expensive. That's it. That's the whole definition. Her energy is expensive. Meaning, you cannot access it cheaply. You cannot access it constantly. You cannot access it because you sent one text at midnight. Her energy costs something. It costs respect. It costs consistency. It costs commitment. It costs a man showing up as a man before he can access what she has to offer as a woman. She is not mean. She is not bitter. She is not cold. She is not playing games. She has just remembered that God did not build her to be free samples for men who never intended to buy. Understand? You are not the free sample. You are the main course. And a man does not get the main course by showing up empty-handed. He does not get the main course by disappearing for a week and coming back with a, "Hey, stranger." He does not get the main course because he texted "wed" at 11:47 on a Tuesday night. Those men can go to the vending machine. You are not the vending machine. I've seen this 1,000 times, sister. A woman transforms overnight, not because she changed her hair, not because she lost weight, not because she got a new car, not because she moved to a new city. She transformed because she made one decision. She decided that from that day forward, her presence was a gift, and she was going to be very, very careful about who she gave that gift to. And the same men who ignored her for months started to feel it in the atmosphere. Because energy is not silent, beautiful. Energy is loud. When a woman decides she is done, the whole spiritual realm reorganizes itself around her decision. And the men in her orbit, even the ones who thought they were done with her, they feel the shift. They feel the door closing. And you know what happens when a man feels a door closing? He runs for it. Every time. Every single time. When a woman decides she is finished, a man remembers he was interested. Every single time. But you cannot fake the decision. You cannot perform the decision. You cannot perform the decision. You cannot post the decision. You have to make the decision. In the quiet, in the dark, between you and God, you have to sit down with yourself and say, I am done shrinking. I am done chasing. I am done cursing. I am done proving. I am done auditioning for a role that was already mine before I ever met him. That is the reframe. That is the whole reframe. You are not chasing him. You are not trying to win him back. You are not trying to make him regret it. You are returning to yourself. And when a woman returns to herself, sister, the whole world adjusts. Now, I know you're ready for the practical part. I know you want the rules. I know you want the exact words, the exact moves, the exact behaviors that are going to make this man sit up in his bed at 3 in the morning and reach for that phone, and I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give you everything. But before I do, I need you to promise me something. Promise me that when you use what I'm about to teach you, you will not use it for revenge. You will not use it to win. You will not use it to prove a point. You will use it because you love yourself more than you love the outcome. That's the only way this works. Because here's what happens next. And this is where women's lives change forever. So don't you move. All right, sister, pull out a pen. Open the Notes app on your phone, or just sit still and let this sink into your bones, because I am about to give you 7 laws that are going to change the way you show up with every man for the rest of your life. Not just this one, everyone. Rule number 1, and write this one down. You are going to go completely silent, and you are not going to break first. I don't mean quiet, I mean silent. I mean the kind of silence that has weight. The kind of silence that a man can feel in his bones. From the moment you finish watching this video, you are not going to send that man another text, another meme, another hey, another I was thinking about you, another I miss us. You are going to close the door, and you are not going to open it. Let me tell you about a woman I'll call Angela. Angela came to me convinced her situation was different. But he's my soulmate, she said. But we have history, she said. But he'll forget me if I go silent, she said. I told her, sister, if 2 weeks of silence makes him forget you, he already forgot you. You just haven't accepted it yet. She went silent on a Wednesday. By Sunday, that man was blowing up her phone like she owed him money. Here's why this works. A man's ego is built on his ability to predict you. When you have been consistent, texting at the same time, responding within minutes, always available, you have made yourself predictable. And predictable, my dear, is boring. Predictable is safe. Predictable is a woman a man does not have to think about because he already knows where she is. The moment you go silent, you break the pattern. And the human brain, his brain, your brain, everybody's brain is obsessed with broken patterns. The mind cannot let go of a broken pattern. It has to solve it. It has to close the loop. And the only way for him to close that loop is to come find out what happened to you. Your script is this. There is no script. That is the whole point. You do not send a farewell message. You do not send a we need to take a break text. You do not announce the silence. Announced silence is not silence, it is a performance. You just stop. You just disappear. Let him look up one day and realize you are gone. And let him have to sit with the question of where you went, all by himself. And here is the warning. If you break the silence even one time, even for one reason, even because he sent you the sweetest message you've ever gotten, you will reset the entire process. Every day you were silent is erased. He will read it as, she'll always come back if I say the right thing. And you will have taught him that your discipline has a price, and the price is just one soft message from him. Do not do it. Not once. Rule number 2, and this is where most women fail. You're going to build a life so full that he becomes a footnote in it, not the headline. Every minute you spend thinking about him is a minute you are not spending on you. And I know that sounds harsh. I know your heart hurts. I know it feels impossible to just focus on yourself when your chest is aching. But listen to me carefully. The fastest way to stop bleeding is to stop looking at the wound. Denise, the woman I told you about earlier, she did this. She took the energy she was spending waiting for his text and she poured it into a class she'd been wanting to take for 2 years. She took the money she was spending on outfits for dates that got canceled and she put it into a savings account she named My Next Chapter. She took the Saturday night she used to leave open for him in case he wants to see me, and she filled them with a book club, a girl trip, a Sunday morning church service she'd been avoiding. Why does this work? Because a man can feel when a woman's center of gravity has moved. He cannot articulate it. He cannot explain it, but he can feel it. When you were revolving around him, he was your sun. When you start revolving around your own purpose, you become your own sun. And now he is out there in cold space wondering why he can't feel your warmth anymore. Your script is this. When people ask what you've been up to, you do not say, just working, just chilling. You say, girl, my life has been beautiful lately. And you say it whether you feel it yet or not, because the words come first and the feeling follows. That is a mess spiritual law. The warning is this. If you build a faithful life just to make him jealous, the kind where you're posting for him to see, hoping he sees, checking to see if he liked it, he will feel it and he will laugh at you. Because performed abundance is worse than honest emptiness. If you're going to fill your life, fill it because you want to be full, not because you want to be seen. Rule number 3, and this one is going to hurt. You are going to stop looking at his social media. Cold turkey. Today, every time you look at his page, you are giving him a piece of your peace. Every time you check to see who he followed, who liked his post, whether he changed his profile picture, you are sending your energy over to him spiritually. And whether you know it or not, he can feel that too. Because energy does not need a text message to be transmitted. Energy travels. Let me tell you something. I have watched a woman check a man's page 52 times in one day. 52. She counted because she was trying to prove to herself she wasn't that bad. Every check felt small, just 5 seconds, just a glance, just to make sure he wasn't with somebody else. But those 5 seconds added up, became her entire day. She was living inside his life instead of hers. Here's the psychology. When you consume his content, you are keeping the connection alive on your end, even when it is dead on his. You are the only one still tending the fire. And the more you tend it, the more you are burning yourself while he is asleep in another room, not thinking about the fire at all. Your script is this. You unfollow, you mute. If you're strong enough, you block not out of anger, but out of love for the woman you're trying to become. And you do not tell him you did it. You do not announce it. You do not post a getting rid of dead weight caption. You just remove the poison from your reach quietly, because a woman who has to announce her healing is still performing for the person who broke her. The warning is this. If you leave one window open, one page you still check, one story you still watch, one friend of his you still follow just to keep tabs, you will never fully heal, because addiction lives in the crack you leave in the door. Close every door and then bolt it shut. Rule number 4, you are going to stop explaining yourself to him, to your friends, to your own mother. This is one of the hardest ones, sister, because women are natural explainers. We were raised to justify. We were raised to smooth things over. We were raised to make sure everybody understands where we are coming from. But explaining yourself to a man who has already decided not to hear you is like watering a plastic plant. It looks like love, but nothing is growing. When he comes back, and he will come back, we'll talk about that in a minute. He is going to try to get you to explain. He is going to ask, why haven't you responded? He is going to ask, what's going on with you? He is going to try to draw you into a conversation about your silence, because a conversation about your silence is a way of ending your silence without him having to earn it. Do not fall for it. Here's the psychology. The moment you explain, you have handed him back the power. You have said without saying it, I owe you an accounting of myself. But sister, you do not owe him an accounting of yourself. not for your absence, not for your peace, not for the boundary you finally put up. Your script, if you must speak at all, is short. It is this: I've been focused on some things. That is it. Do not elaborate. Do not soften it with, but how have you been? Do not follow it with, sorry, I didn't respond sooner. One sentence. And then let the silence do its work. The warning is this: if you start explaining, you will not stop. Women have a way of pouring out a lifetime of pain in one conversation once they finally get the ear back. You will tell him everything you were mad about. You will cry. You will confess how much you missed him. And you will hand him every card in your deck, and he will play them all against you. Do not explain. Not once. Rule number 5. You are going to become extremely, deliberately hard to read. Not cold, not dramatic, not bitter. Hard to read. There is a difference, and most women never learn it. A cold woman is easy to read. She's angry. A dramatic woman is easy to read. She's hurt. A bitter woman is easy to read. She's stuck. But a hard-to-read woman? A woman who smiles when he doesn't expect it, who is unbothered when he expects a reaction, who is warm when he braced for cold, who is silent when he baited her. That woman is a puzzle, and a man cannot stop thinking about a puzzle. I've seen this 1,000 times. A woman who used to send paragraphs starts sending one-word replies. A woman who used to answer in 5 minutes starts answering in 5 hours, sometimes 24. A woman who used to explain herself starts just saying okay, and the man on the other end starts unraveling. He starts double texting. He starts asking, "Are you mad at me?" He starts sending the "I miss you" message. Because the puzzle is driving him crazy. Here's why this works. A man's attraction is not built by what he knows about you. A man's attraction is built by what he doesn't know about you. Mystery is the mother of desire. When he has you figured out, he stops seeing you. When he can't figure you out, he cannot look away from you. Your script is this: when he finally sends the hey, and he will send it, you do not respond right away. You do not respond that day. Sometimes you do not respond for 2 or 3 days. When you do respond, you send exactly one sentence, something warm but empty. Hey, or life's been good, or I hope you're well. No questions back. No emotional temperature check. No emojis. And then you go back to your life. The warning is this: if you overplay the mystery, you become cold. And cold is not attractive. Cold is a wall. Mystery is a door with a key you haven't handed him yet. He can see through the window. He knows you're in there. He just can't come in. That is the vibe. Warm from a distance. Understood? Rule number 6, and this one is spiritual. You are going to pray for him, and then you are going to release him. I know that's hard, but listen to me carefully. Every woman I have watched come out of this stronger. Every single one reached a point where she stopped fighting God for a man he was already trying to remove from her life. And the fight ended when she started praying. Not God, bring him back. Not God, make him call me. Not God, change his heart. But God, if he is not the one, remove him. And if he is the one, prepare us both. And in the meantime, God, prepare me for whatever you have on the other side of this. That is the prayer that changes everything, sister. Here's the psychology and here's the spiritual truth. When you release a man from your grip, you make room for God to work on him. As long as you are trying to control the outcome, God will step back and let you. He is a gentleman. He does not force his way in. But the moment you say, God, I take my hands off this, he steps in. And he can do in 1 week what you have been trying to do for 6 months. Your script is this: Every morning, before you check your phone, you say, God, I release him to you. My peace is not tied to his behavior. My worth is not tied to his choices. My future is not tied to his return. Whatever you do with him, do. But do not let me miss what you are trying to do in me while I'm waiting to see what you'll do in him. Say it every morning. Say it until you believe it, and then say it after you believe it, just to keep the muscle strong. The warning is this: if you skip the spiritual part, if you try to do all of this on human willpower alone, you will crack. You will crack around day 9, day 12, day 19, because human willpower has a floor. But when your discipline is anchored in something bigger than the outcome, sister, you become unshakable. And an unshakable woman is a woman a man cannot get out of his head. Rule number 7. When he comes back, and he will come back, you are going to be prepared, because he is coming back. I want you to understand that. Not maybe, not probably. He is coming back. Men always come back. The question is not if. The question is who you will be when he does. He is going to come back with one of 5 messages. The "Hey stranger," the "I've been thinking about you," the "I saw something that reminded me of you," the "I miss you." For the big one, the 11:47 p.m. "We need to talk." I don't care which one he sends. They all mean the same thing. He has felt the shift. He has felt the loss. He has felt the mountain where the water used to be. Here's what most women do wrong. They wait for this message like it's Christmas morning. And then when it comes, they respond in 2 minutes with 3 paragraphs, with all the feelings they've been holding back. And they undo 6 weeks of work in 6 seconds. Do not do that. Your script when he comes back is this: you do not respond in under 6 hours. Ever. If he sends it in the morning, he does not hear from you until evening. If he sends it at night, he does not hear from you until the next day, maybe the day after. When you respond warm but light. Hey, hope you're doing well. That is it. You do not ask what he wants. You do not ask why he's reaching out. You do not perform curiosity. You do not perform indifference. You just are. If he wants to see you, he has to ask. Directly. Not, "We should link up sometime." That is not asking. That is fishing. You do not respond to fishing. He has to say, "Can I see you on this day, at this time?" Anything less is not a request. It's a maybe. And you do not give your Saturday night to a maybe. The warning is this: if he comes back and you fold, if he comes back and you go right back to being the free sample, the vending machine, the safety net, he will not just take you back. He will take you back. And remember that all he had to do was wait you out. And the next time he leaves, he will leave for longer. And the time after that, he might not come back at all. This is not just about winning him back, sister. This is about teaching him permanently the terms of access to a queen. Now let me tell you about the woman you are becoming. She wakes up in the morning and the first thing she reaches for is not her phone. She reaches for her Bible. She reaches for her journal. She reaches for a cup of something warm and she sits with herself. She thanks God for the breath in her lungs before she thanks anybody for anything else. She has learned that the woman who checks her phone first has already handed her day over to somebody else's mood. She has a routine now. She works out. Not to be skinny, not to be sexy for a man, but because her body is a temple and temples get taken care of. She reads. She learns things. She goes on walks. She calls her mama. She calls her sister. She calls the friend she was ignoring while she was drowning in that man's silence, and she says, "I'm sorry. I was gone for a while. I'm back." She has boundaries now. She used to be scared of the word. Now it's her favorite word. She says no without a paragraph of explanation. She says no without an apology. She says no and she doesn't move because she has finally understood that no is a complete sentence. And any man who cannot handle her no was never worthy of her yes. She has become unshakable, sister, unbothered, unavailable to anything that does not honor her. And when his name comes up now, because it does come up, from a friend, from a memory, from a song on the radio, she does not flinch. She does not spiral. She does not cry in the car. She smiles a small, private smile because she remembers who she was when she was with him. And she has met the woman she is now, and she knows there is no going back. Not because she hates him, but because that woman is dead. And the woman who took her place has too much peace to invite the old pain back in for coffee. He didn't lose interest. He lost access to a woman who forgot her value. And that woman is dead now. Say it with me one more time. That woman is dead now. He is going to text. I told you he was going to text. And when he does, she is going to see the notification. And she is going to feel nothing. Not excitement. Not anger. Not victory, just a quiet, still, spirit-level nothing. Because peace, my dear, is the highest form of revenge. Peace is what happens when a woman has walked so far into her purpose that the past cannot reach her anymore. She reads the message. She takes 3 hours to reply. Sometimes she takes 3 days. Sometimes she doesn't reply at all, and she doesn't feel guilty about it. Because the version of her who used to feel guilty about her own peace, that version is buried in a very small grave in the back of her mind, and she visits sometimes, just to lay flowers, just to say thank you for teaching her what she never wanted to learn again. If this is speaking to your spirit right now, sister, do me one favor, drop the word healed in the comments so I know you're with me. And share this video with the sister you know is sitting in her car right now, checking that phone one more time, hoping he texted. Send it to her, because she needs to hear this tonight. Now let me bring it home. I want to tell you something about God. And I know some of y'all are church women, and some of y'all are spiritual women, and some of y'all are just trying to figure it out. And wherever you are, I want you to hear this. God did not build you to beg for a seat at a table. He already prepared for you. He didn't do that. That is not who he is. He didn't put breath in your lungs and beauty in your face and wisdom in your spirit just so you could hand it all over to a man who was not ready to steward it. He did not sit up in heaven thinking about you before the foundations of the world were laid just so you could shrink yourself down to fit into somebody's part-time schedule. He built you on purpose. He built you with intention. He built you to be pursued, protected, cherished, and covered. And any man who cannot see what he was assigned to see when he looked at you, sister, that was never your husband. That was your lesson. Say it. That was my lesson. And lessons, my dear, are not punishments. Lessons are gifts. They come wrapped in ugly paper sometimes. They come wrapped in silence and read receipts and canceled plans and broken promises. But inside is a gift. And the gift is you. The gift is the woman you had to become in order to survive what he did. The gift is the discipline you built. The gift is the boundary you finally set. The gift is the standard you finally raised. The gift is the peace you finally protected. What was meant for your harm, God has used to build your future. Now hear me on this last thing. What is meant for you cannot miss you. It cannot. It cannot pass you by. It cannot go to somebody else. It cannot be lost in the shuffle. It cannot be given to your enemy. It cannot be delayed forever. Whatever is written on your life, the love, the marriage, the family, the peace, the calling, the purpose, the abundance, it is coming. It is on its way. It has your name on it, spelled correctly, addressed to your exact spirit. And no man's silence, no man's confusion, no man's inability to see you None of that can stop what God has already put in motion for you. So you can put the phone down tonight. You can close this video and go take a bath. You can pour yourself a glass of something. You can sit with your own company and find out she's not so bad after all. You can go to bed without checking one more time. And you can wake up tomorrow, not as a woman who is waiting, but as a woman who is being awaited by her own destiny, by her own purpose, by her own peace. He will call. He will apologize. He will beg. And if he does, you'll know what to do. And if he doesn't, you'll know something better. You'll know that God moved him out of the way because he is protecting you from a life you were about to settle for. Either way, sister, you win. Either way, you are chosen. Either way, you are covered. Either way, you are becoming the woman he will spend the rest of his life either thanking God for or wishing he had been man enough to keep. That woman is you. Now go be her.